Hi, my name is Wang Yiming. I come from mainland China and now a first-year MA student in International and Regional Studies at the Lieberthal-Rogel Center for Chinese Studies, or LRCCS. My research interest is women and gender in modern Chinese history. My current research is about masculinities and anti-communist propaganda of Chinese national government during 1920s and 30s. I think my motivations for choosing the UM can be divided into two parts: why the United States and why the UM. First, why the US? Actually, when I was still a high school student, I had actually been thinking about experiencing some education in a different country. After I decided to continue on my research on gender history a few years ago, I thought the US might be a better place to do my master's and doctoral study. As you may know, the discipline of women's gender studies as well as women's gender history originated in the US in late 20th century. And this discipline is still not well developed in China. There are more researchers and better programs in the US. Also, the historians in the US have some different perspectives on Chinese history in general and huge influences on the field. Therefore, I think I can have better training of gender theories and learn some different approaches to Chinese history in the US after studying Chinese history for years in China. Second, why the UM? My interest in the UM is derived from my study with Professor Wang Zheng, now Professor Emeritus of Women's Gender Studies and History. 3 years ago, she organized a reading seminar at my undergraduate institute and introduced this great program at LRCCS to me. After doing some research, I know the UM has a group of marvelous and renowned scholars on gender studies and Chinese studies. And my center has a lot of funding for MA students. So finally, I decided to come to UM. As a student born, brought up, and trained in China, it's easier for me to have a comparative view of Chinese and American scholarships. I can compare the different approaches and standpoints to have a more comprehensive understanding. Also, I might have better language ability and more lived experiences of social realities in China. So these might be some advantages. As for challenges, since I have an exchange experience at UC Santa Barbara 3 years ago, I think I suffered a lot there to get used to the English teaching and heavy workload. So at the UM, I have less difficulties. However, as I take more and more classes and read more things, I still need to deal with the conflicts between different research approaches I learned in both countries, and especially the ideological differences. I must say the COVID-19 made my first year study very difficult. I'm taking classes remotely in China in the last academic year. I cannot list all the problems I met, but among them, the most tough are the uh, time differences, access to library resources, and low productivity at home. Taking classes at 4 and 5 a.m. could really exhaust people. When looking back, I think the interdisciplinary curriculum broadened my views greatly and unexpectedly. Previously, I've mostly focused on China during the 19th and 20th centuries, but here at the UM, I have to take classes covering a longer period, from as early as the first Chinese Empire to as late as now the issues, especially those not taught in China. This not only helps me situate my research in a broader background, but also helps me better understand my family's past and my own growth.